Alright, today we're gonna go over why every photographer needs a 10-stop ND filter. And I tested out this ND filter up in Vermont, so we're gonna skip to that video of me unboxing it and then trying it out. And then afterwards we're gonna look at the pictures and look at the quality, if we lose any sharpness or not, and what we can do with a 10-stop ND filter. So let's go start right now. So we're gonna be unboxing the KF Concept ND filter. And this is a pretty cheap ND filter you can get for around $35. If I can open it, we're gonna make sure to save this plastic so we don't litter into the ocean and then a dolphin doesn't wear it as a hat. But it comes in a cardboard box and oh wow, it's literally just in this case, which is perfectly fine. I recommend getting like a little pouch you can get. I'll put a link for it in the description where you can put all your NDs. And this is just a straight up 10-stop ND, which is, oh my god, it's just completely black, which is amazing because this is what you need if you're shooting like when it's sunny out like this, and if you want to slow down the water like the ones we got back here, then you're gonna need a 10-stop ND like this so you can slow the water down. Because I used to use like a variable ND filter to do this, but they're usually, at least the one I have, goes from 2 to 8 stops, and the last 2 stops are unusable. I don't know why they're designed that way, but you know, but this is a 10-stop ND filter, so we're gonna take some pictures and see how it looks. Okay, first of all, let's go over the difference between the exposure between having the 10-stop ND filter and not having it. First of all, we got a shot right here, which is shot at f2.8 ISO 50 at 1/2000th of a second, and that's to get like kind of proper exposure. It's a little underexposed, but I usually underexpose my landscape shot just so I can like bring it up later in post, because I could just bring up the shadows. You know, you can get it's just easier to like manage if you just underexpose it a little bit. So I would say this is proper exposure, and this is 1/2000th of a second. And I try to lower my shutter speed to see how much I could get, and like at 1/250th of a second you can kinda, you know, you can kind of get away with it. You can bring back the highlights still, but you're still going to be losing a little bit. As you can see from the chart, we lost some highlights. Again, I can just lower the aperture a little bit and try to slow it down. But on a bright day like this, if you want to lower your shutter speed, you're going to need to put an ND filter on there to get like over a second long. So once I put the ND filter, I was able to get 1 second, you know, at f2.8. So on this brighted aperture, I can get 1 second long, and 1 second is okay. And on the next shot, I just tried like doing 8 seconds at f2.8, and that's a little overexposed. Yeah, we're gonna be losing some data, so I bumped up the aperture to f11, and I was able to get perfectly smooth water at 13 seconds long with this lens. And one thing that's amazing with this ND filter is that I'm not seeing pretty much any like quality loss. So if we compare the two shots right here, I'm honestly not seeing any loss in quality. This is a 42 megapixel image, so I would see it. Now if we compare like just 1:1, so at 1:1 I'm really not seeing any difference between these two. Obviously the ND filter one's gonna be a little bit smoother just because, you know, there was wind out there, so there's just gonna be motion blur naturally. But let me just up the exposure a little bit to match it. But honestly, I'm not seeing any quality loss at all. And this one, actually, the ND one seems a little sharper. That might just because of how it was focused. Maybe I moved the focus a little bit. But honestly, I'm not seeing any loss in either shot. So we just, you know, look at these pictures, you know, at f13, I was able to get 13 seconds long. So at f22, I was able to get 30 seconds long and just completely smooths out the water. The windmills in the background are just actually. So at f22, I was able to get 30 seconds long, and as you can see, the water is just completely smoothed out, which is what I love about just getting a 10-stop ND filter, is that you can just completely destroy that water, just completely smooth it out. If you were to shoot at like half a second or like 1/30th of a second, you know, that's what you can usually get with like a normal lens. Without any ND filter, you know, you can't do anything like this. You know, it will just end up looking like, let's see if I can find one. Like even at a second, you know, it doesn't look that great. It just, there's still like motion in the water. Kind of looks gross. I don't like that look. But once you get to like 30 seconds long, the water is just, you know, just completely still, which looks amazing. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check it out. I have a link for the ND filter in the description. It's pretty cheap. I recommend just getting it and just throw it in your bag because you don't know when you're gonna need it. And sometimes you just want to shoot a waterfall, or if you're shooting a river or whatever, you want to slow down that water just to see how it looks. And you're not gonna be able to do that just by, you know, putting your camera to f22. You have to use an ND filter in order to get a result like this. And I know you can just like stack the images together by just taking multiple different shots, but that's a lot of work to do, and it's just so much easier to just, you know, get a $20 ND filter and just put it in front of your camera. But anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.